Welcome to How to Make AI Work for You from Skill Builders Institute. I'm Sean Ferguson, and today we're going to talk about some uses of artificial intelligence, AI, that you may not be aware of. A lot of focus has been talked about specifically on the GPT tool, ChatGPT and Gemini and things like that. But I want to introduce you to some other tools by OpenAI and other industry leaders in this space that really have some capabilities that can be helpful to you. So join me on this journey. I'm going to introduce something that you may or may not know about in terms of ChatGPT and some of the things that you can do. But one thing that I want to talk about is these three lines here on the right. If you click on this allows you to have a natural conversation with ChatGPT. And in this case, we can say prepare for an interview, or we can find out recipes for a specific recipe, or find out information for a specific recipe. We could do a number of things. So let me click it and just show you briefly how it can interact. Hi, I am a entry-level programmer, and I am applying for my first job in C#. Can you ask me a few questions to help me prepare for my interview?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to help you prep. Let's dive into a few common C# interview questions to get you warmed up. First question, can you explain what object-oriented programming is and how C# uses it? Second question, how would you describe the concept of inheritance in C# and give a simple example? And third question, what are interfaces in C# and how do they differ from abstract passes? Feel free to answer those and I'll give you some feedback.
I'm not sure I know the answer to those. How about, would it be possible to provide me with some resources where I could study up and make sure that I can provide those answers for the test, or for the interview, I'm sorry?
Of course, no worries at all. Everyone starts somewhere. For brushing up on C# and object-oriented programming concepts, a few resources you might find helpful are Microsoft C# documentation. It's free and super comprehensive.
So we'll go ahead and end that, but I just wanted to show you how it can be used for something similar to that, right? Where you can use it for job interviews. The next tool, pretty amazing. And I kind of gave you a preview by clicking to it prematurely, but it's called Sora, and it's made by OpenAI. It is their image and video generation tool. It's available to you. You can use it to create videos, create imagery, etc. We'll just navigate around a few different things, and I'll show you how it works. But it's pretty powerful and actually pretty amazing. If you look at this picture right here, this is a really neat picture. We can click on the picture itself, and it's going to provide the prompt. Right now, it's not in our language or my language, but if I wanted to, I can copy this prompt, make some modifications, and submit a new one, and it could create a new image for me. Very, very powerful. Let's look at the top category. The top category shows you some of the images that have gotten the most likes or the most notoriety. So here's a squirrel, that's pretty cool. Here's this dog. Very, very interesting. There's I think Brad Pitt, but kind of in a Vice City setting. There's some other things. So very powerful. There's a gummy elephant made from gummy bears. So very powerful from what you see. And this is just images right now. If we click on the video tab, this starts to show us some videos that's been created using the tool. So look at that. I mean, can you really tell that that's fake? The line is getting very, very thin. Of course you can see that and other things, but as you see, there's some really well put together videos that are hard to differentiate from real. And these are all available to you. So if I click on, let's say, the dental video, unfortunately it's in a different language, so let's click on one, let's click on a different one, let's try this one. Here we go. So look at the prompt, a modern, there you go, take a read of that. But that prompt is available to us. So if we wanted to, we could copy this prompt and then go back to ChatGPT, for instance, and say, hey, I want to improve this prompt. I want to add something to it. I can paste that prompt in there, add those things to it, tell it to give me a better prompt, and then I can put that prompt back into Sora. I'm not going to do that at this time, but I did want to let you know that that's available. So let's go back over here. Images, tops, and really to just start to create something, all you need to do is describe your image. Tell it if it's a video or an image, right? So really, really, really powerful. And this is available to you now. We were doing a event for a party, and we used this as a tool to help generate some different attributes and different invitation types. So a very powerful tool. So that's the second tool that I wanted to introduce you to. The third tool that I want to introduce you to is not by OpenAI, but it is by another company that is in that market of artificial intelligence. And this company, their claim is that they're doing AI right, that they have guardrails, or claim to have guardrails, and they want to ensure that their implementation of AI is within the constraints and doesn't hurt humanity. So they're very powerful. Their tool is very useful. I use it a lot for a lot of application development and software engineering, and it's very powerful. But we're going to use it for a quick example, and I want to just show you how powerful it is. And again, this is free for you to use. You could go to Claude.com or Claude.ai. I'm going to probably redirect you. If you just do a Google search on Claude, it'll allow you to get to it. You may have to sign in and register. I had to do so. If you have a problem with that, then maybe you don't want to do so. You at least get to for this functionality that we're about to go to. But for just general users, it's an excellent tool. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to talk about the problem first. Let's say that I am a food company. I sell baked goods, whether it's cakes or cookies or bread, muffins, scones, whatever it is. I sell a lot of those different things, but I don't really have a good handle on cost. People have always told me, hey, you need to really figure out what your cost is to ensure that you're selling at an adequate price, right? Oftentimes, we try to just undercut our competitors thinking that that would be sufficient for us. But if we don't know our costs, we may be selling at a loss. So what we can do here is say, hey, I need help creating an ingredient tracker, price tracker. I want to just tell it, I want to be able to ensure that I make a profit from every batch of cookies, cakes, etc. that I make. I want to be able to put the ingredients, price, and amount needed for the recipe to help me determine my cost. Can you create such a tool? Pretty simple, right? So we'll just go ahead and submit that and see what happens. So a comprehensive recipe cost calculator is what it determined that it wants to create. And now you notice that it's going through a process and it's creating application code. This is HTML React code that can be used for generation of websites and web pages. So it's going through that process, and it's going to continue doing this until it's complete and has something that we can use. Pretty powerful, right? And just notice my prompt was a pretty elementary prompt. It wasn't something that, I spent a lot of difficult keywords on, or I had to go take here, or I had to have funny characters in. No, it's pretty cut and dry, right? And from that prompt, I'm able to get this pretty sophisticated cost calculator that it's generating just from that. So this is one use case on how I'm using it, or how I could use it to help if I had a bakery or a business that sold goods. But again, this is just one instance. Look at your use cases. Think about what you need, some of the pain points that you have in your business or in your life, and utilize a tool like this to help really put something together to make things more efficient. So look at this. Look at this. It's created this sophisticated, looks to be like a website or web system or something that allows me to add ingredients. It gives me the cost of that item and allows me to understand how much the cookies cost. In this case, it yielded an example of a chocolate chip cookie, and it provided me with the total cost, the profit margin, the cost per unit, and the total profit from one batch of cookies. So pretty cool stuff right here. And again, this is typically not how people use AI, but this is something that's available to you. Now, one quick note, I can click on this publish button and then it'll create a link, and I can send that link to other people, and it can be used, as you wish. So just wanted to just highlight that. A very useful tool and how to use it. The next example that I want to use, and this is really more of a bonus. The recent version of ChatGPT 5, and even before that, but with ChatGPT 5, they gave you more access to what's called AI agents. And these agents are kind of like these bots, is probably the best way I could describe them, that do things to try to help you, right? So you can really get them to do some pretty creative things. Say you're looking for a TV for a specific price, or a PlayStation for a specific price. Say you're looking for specific shoes or specific items. It can search on your behalf to try to find those items. So we're going to do a small activity, and we're going to say, okay, we want to use the agent mode right here. And it tells me that I have 39 uses left. And I want to say that, hey, I have a few images that I'm going to provide. Let's see if it can pull these images. Took with my phone. Let me try it this way. So there's a few images that I want to provide. I took a couple pictures, and let me show you. There's this magazine right here, right? It's a comic book. MC Hammer, right? Old school. I want to see if this is worth any money, right? I want to just kind of see if it's worth anything. So what I want the agent to do is go out. I'm going to give it some pictures of it, give it a few pages, go out, see if it can find it on eBay. I'm going to specifically tell it eBay, see if it can find it, and then give me an idea how much I can price it for on eBay, right? So let me give it a few. I have to give it a few the images, and let me see. I think I provided them. Let me go. Here we go. So we'll go. Oops. So I am going to send these to my laptop. Now I'm going to add those pictures right here, right? And I'm going to ask it, here is a old comic book for MC Hammer. Can you go and see how much it can be sold for on eBay. If it can be sold for more than, let's say, $20, create a template post that I can use for publishing the item on eBay. Right? So that's basically what I wanted to do. I wanted to use these pictures, and really I could just use the cover, but I gave it a variety so it has an idea of what this is. And search the internet, see how much it's worth, and if it's worth more than $20, if it thinks I can yield more than $20 on eBay, put together a template description and publishing settings that I could use for putting it on eBay. So I can do that, let that go, and see what happens. Now, I'm not going to keep you waiting here, but what I will do is once this does come back, I'll come back, let you know what happened, and share the results. So in the meantime, I hope I was able to provide you with some good information on how you can use artificial intelligence in non-traditional ways. We went over using Sora, which is the video and image creation tool by OpenAI. We also talked about the Claude AI and how to use Claude. We created a recipe calculator using Claude AI. And the first item that we did was a interactive conversation that we can use to help prep us for interviews or things like that. Remember, these things have a large source of knowledge, so I would encourage you to try these non-traditional uses if there's a use case that works for you. Thank you. I hope you like our information. Please join and subscribe, and we look forward to talking to you. See you again. So I wanted to come back and kind of share the results of the agent that we talked about last time. If you recall, I had asked the agent, actually, let me show you this book right here. I found it in some old materials. Wanted to see if it would yield, is it worth anything, right? So I asked the agent, actually, let me show the prompt. Here's an old comic book for MC Hammer. Can you go and see how much it can be sold for on eBay? If it could be sold for more than $20, create a template post that I can use for publishing it. So that was the prompt that I used to find out more information. And it sent me back with this information. And it looks like it took about 6 minutes. So it says, looks like it's part of a series that was created in the early 90s. It looked like there was a copy sold for about $5. It looks like there was a copy sold of the 12 personalities for $6. Another one that was sold for $15. And since these prices are below the threshold I have set, it's not going to create a template for us. If it was, it would actually create the template, and I can give it instructions, and they would actually go and post the information. So it's very, very powerful what these tools can do. So I hope this helps. I hope that this makes a difference and is something that you can use in the future. You see some old things around, hey, don't be afraid to take a shot and see if it's worth anything. Now you have something that'll do the work for you. Enjoy.